takes them on this time. Kanchelskis coming infield and leaving room for McClare to go on. Oh, and it's Giggs! What a volley! And Manchester United, who were knocking at the door with increasing impatience, have been let in by West Ham. Oh, Gale wanting time that Hughes wasn't going to give him. Giggs is tearing through the middle. Can he find the shot? He finds the back heel for Kanchelskis. Robson makes sure. And West Ham hang their heads. Allen for the right, Small through the middle, and Slater gets his free kick. Stopped in his tracks by Steve Bruce. Quick free kick for West Ham. McAvenny. It's 2-1. Manchester United caught out. Frank McAvenny has scored. The crowd, the majority of them, haven't quite realised it yet.
Manchester City had won their 5 previous away games in major competitions, compared to Luton's barren run of 11 in League and Cup. Mick Harford's opener, Redmond's slip, was costly, but he paid an even heavier price later on. Adrian Heath's corner, Niall Quinn's height, and Keith Curle's bravery were the 3 factors in City's first equaliser. Luton going back in front when Telfer swung in a teaser, and John Dreyer got a foot in and deflected it too firmly for Heath on the line. City's second equaliser on the hour, goal of the day contender B. Quinn to Brightwell, Brightwell to Quinn, magnificent goal. Now in the closing minutes, Brian Steen went racing through, Steve Redmond made contact, the referee's interpretation a professional foul. You can guess the rest. Well, maybe it is time to take Forest seriously after all, although there was a suspicion of offside about the first, and also a question as to whether it crossed the line. Teddy Sheringham's 10th of the season. But that's nitpicking. Forest were breathtaking at times. Stuart Pearce, with one of his guided missiles, giving Forest the cushion and the platform to play the sort of football we'd walk a million miles to watch. Gary Charles, who looked so supple and flexible, setting up Scott Gemmell for number 3. Then another fine footballing goal. Goal of the day, C, because of Ian Woan's cool, classy, inch-perfect finish. Palace had only lost one of their previous 13 games, but this was just one of those days. The only memorable thing about their goal, it was Jeff Thomas's 4th in successive games. But Forest hadn't finished. Gary Charles brought down by Humphrey. It was a twice-taken penalty by Teddy Sheringham to round off Forest's best performance of the season.
King's also there. He's got others lined up alongside him, but Sheridan is generally the free kick taker, and King goes over it. Sheridan curls it in a fine save, but the ball's in the net surely from David Hurst. It is. Wednesday in front. The fans wild, and Seaman had done it all right, but there was no denying Hurst. And Lee Dixon on the ball for Arsenal. Again, he plays it down that touchline, and Wright has slipped Warhurst brilliantly. And Ian Wright goes on. He might fall to the tackle. It's a penalty. Brought down by Carlton Palmer, and the elusive Ian Wright has won the Gunners a spot kick. Dixon's 2 goals this season have both come from the penalty spot. Is he to make it 3? No! Chris Woods makes the save. That's a good play, piece of play from Rocastle. Gillier. Gave himself an awful lot to do, and here's Ian Wright now, and they've men up there. Bold was screaming for the ball in, or Wright twisting and turning. Bold, surely! And Stephen Bold wipes out the memory of the own goal he scored the season before last.
Well, some terrific goals this week, and here's another that would have been a contender on any run-of-the-mill Saturday. Sloppy defending, but really quick thinking by Kevin Gallagher. The Coventry's new coach Don Howe doesn't officially take up his post until tomorrow. He's certainly got plenty to work on. Norwich did the damage from close range. Sherwood's cross eventually turned in by Bowen. Well, over the last 9 games, apart from a penalty, Gallagher has been Coventry's only scorer. They regained the lead when the Scottish international got his second of the match. But Norwich staged a spirited late rally. Fleck and Bowen, scorers and creators at Chelsea last week, combined for the equaliser. Fleck's 4th in as many games. Well, on to the last minute, another loose maul in the 6-yard area, and when Rob Newman drove the ball back in, substitute Chris Sutton, making his first appearance of the season, grabbed the glory.
Taking it very quickly into the path of Andy Hinchcliffe, who's got forward with some effect, and that's a header from Dave Watson, trying to finish it off, and somehow Tony Cottee contrived to turn it over the bar. Dave Watson with the free kick for Everton, who've had things pretty much their own way in the first quarter, but haven't been able to make their pressure tell. Tony Cottee's shot beaten against the post. He might have a second chance here. Hinchcliffe's forward, but this time it's swept away by Craig Short. But Tony Cottee, having got a glimpse of goal, fired in a really powerful shot there, and it was as much as Shearer could do to turn it onto the woodwork. Ball right out. Put up by Dave Watson. And here's Beardsley, who is fulfilling his midfield duties at both ends of the field. Hinchcliffe. That's an interesting ball for Tony Cottee. He's taken it in his stride. Another chance for Cottee! And this time he's taken it. And a goal that Everton have richly deserved comes with 7 minutes of the first half remaining. And what a ball from Andy Hinchcliffe. Pinpoint must have been all of 40 yards into the path of Tony Cottee, who, once he'd ridden the challenge, knew exactly what he was doing. Agree. Out by Thomas, but it's bounced kindly for Jackson, who has Ward wide of him. Harper making a run into the box, chipped in towards Cottee, rattles the woodwork for the second time in the game. What a brilliant effort that was by Tony Cottee.
Only Peter With's second point since he became Wimbledon manager at the beginning of last month. Dean Saunders almost won it for Liverpool near the end. He's beginning to look the part, and his understanding with McManaman is beginning to look interesting. The winner was credited to Brian Dean, but having seen it a few times, we're going for Kevin Gage, who crossed it in. Anyway, Sheffield United poised to move out of the bottom 3 at any time. 4 goals in 5 minutes. Little Nick Henry popped in the first for an Oldham side who hadn't won for 5 games, but who continued to play open football. Goal of the day, contender D. Typical of the way they stretch defenders and get the ball out wide. Palmer started it, and he finished it with a lovely angled header. Oldham's record scorer. Oldham then 2 up in 3 minutes. 2 minutes later, keeper Hallworth committed himself. Fortunately, Les Ferdinand only had eyes for the ball and headed his first of the season. Seconds after that, the evergreen Palmer's first touch let in Graham Sharp for a 2-goal lead. Oldham never really looked like relinquishing. Rangers' 4th straight defeat, and now 1 off the bottom. 1 win in 7 league games for both clubs beforehand. Matthew Le Tissier's free kick. Alan Shearer's 13th of the season, just before half-time. Shearer looking more and more the complete centre-forward.
Sterling gets it back from Strachan. Good looking cross. Chapman's header! Marvellous save, but it's Wallace who follows up, and it's a goal for Leeds United. White has come forward to the near post as ever with Chapman. There he is. And White just got the touch header on, and it's a goal. What a great start to the second half. Goes in short this time, and a lovely little back heeler. Strachan into the danger zone, and it's turned in. Chapman, I think, on the line. It's 3-0 to Leeds United. Daly did well then to take it off Batty. Forward to Atkinson. He's got in well here. Good effort. Saved by Lukic. And then turned over the line by York. Villa pull one back. Still time for a final flourish, perhaps, from Leeds United. Sterling, Chapman in a good position on the far post. There he is, and there is the final flourish.